And I think it's recording. Okay. All right, we're recording. And yeah, so we can start with where we're all from, I guess. Starting with intro. I'm from Cornell, New York. And Don, where are you from?
I'm in Tennessee now, but I'm from civilization. I was born in California.
Oh, well, that's important. Erica, where are you from?
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah. Yep, I can hear you, Erica.
Okay, sorry, my microphone's messing up. I am originally from Illinois, but I moved 3 years ago to Palm Bay, Florida.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm familiar with Illinois and Florida. Rockford and Illinois.
Uh, Now I'm down here in the south with my two dogs. Yay.
Okay. Well, I guess we're all creative writing students, correct? Hello?
Yes?
Oh, okay. I said I think
Hello.
we're all creative writing students.
Yes, I'm creative writing for entertainment.
Yeah, me too. Don, are you? I think you said you were.
Creative writing for
What was that?
I'm a creative writing for entertainment as well.
Ah.
Okay. All right. So I guess what we're supposed to do over this meeting, so especially for record, is basically I know we all know we're doing distributing your work, and I'm doing we're doing the news thing. I'm pretty much got my end all done. I just gotta do the narration. I already got the pictures done, the intro done. I just gotta do my narration, which I'm still trying to figure out in GarageBand, but I'll eventually get to it. Probably by tomorrow. And I guess the angle, I think the reason why we have the meeting is that we know we're distributing our work, but I guess what we found so far, as far as research. And Don, what have you found so far?
What I've done basically is I've seen a few of the online versions of the presentation to get an idea where other people went, and they went to some really creative directions. Now we're doing, refresh my memory right now, is what the actual. I know we have a concept and then we have a format. What is the concept again? Ours is distributing your work, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Um, and it's distributing your work in the future, right?
Yep, I think that's what he was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, for what I've looked at, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's been done on it. One of the instructors, his name Chris something or another, he did a really nice your work. He showed like things that were going on in the future formats and talked about how we would be able to use like alternative means. There's going to be a lot more availability on cell phones, so we might be able to do things that will easily present on cell phones. We can do things that, like create and develop email lists. Apparently, a lot of writers right now are developing email lists where they get people to, subscribe to their email list, so like $3 a pop, or $3 a year or something like that. But they have, like 40,000 people on their list, so they're making, they're charging $2.99 and then distribute their work through their email. Then there are, of course, other options. I mean, we've got emerging technologies like podcasts. We've got just about anything you can imagine on the internet. But the email thing fascinated me because I've looked into it. I belong to some Facebook writers groups as well, and apparently there are a few people that have started that. One girl's got like 3,000 people at $2.99 a month that are reading her short stories.
Oh, wow. Oh, so basically, you found like social network.
She's doing quite well with it. Yeah, so social networking, that's one way of looking at it. But you can get, it apparently is a good idea to establish a presence. I'm the kind of person who historically seen Facebook as nearly a waste of time, but I'm starting to see it now as quite a way of developing contacts and I've become relatively Facebook savvy, and I've seen that there are a lot of people developing huge networks of friends. Like you have people that are in relatively isolated places, like some weird place in New Zealand, or in some their father's a missionary in Borneo, so that they've started doing their writing and distributing it that way through Facebook, and they're developing huge contacts. Then also, of course, there's the new things that you can do on Amazon, and that you can also do on of course, you do the Amazon, like the self-publishing on Amazon, and then there's a few other places you can do it too. But on Amazon, another thing that Amazon has gone to, I don't know if you folks are aware of it, but you can actually go on Amazon and submit like short storyboards for scripts, and there's Amazon people that have them voted on, and then also examine them themselves, and can option you for short scripts or short project development deals. Now, there's another way of distributing your work there. So the avenues are just, they're incredibly broad. It might be a good idea if one of us could work on a list and then maybe have it ready in a day or two so that the others can work on it or incorporate it possibly, in their videos, their podcasts. It's just, depending on what you guys think. But I mean, or maybe we could just all work on the same project and all just submit it and then just sort of eliminate the double submissions or triple submissions and have a cohesive list between the three of us and as well. Is that somebody arriving at the meeting?
Yeah, I think somebody's switching computers.
Okay. But at any rate, yeah, there's all those things. I mean, what have you guys seen?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. I think it would be a good idea to like basically have a list and have one.
And actually,
Okay.
actually done. I like the idea as well because for me personally, I actually have short stories out online, like some convenience art, and I actually have gotten a little bit of a following thing. It's all free. I'm not getting paid for any of it, but I'm still getting people to view my stuff.
Okay. I think you might have to repeat that. I'm having a really hard time with feedback over on my end.
I said that I actually have a few short stories online, and I don't get paid for anything, but it's through DeviantArt, and it's getting people to look at my stuff and follow.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay, that's actually good. You know what? I think I'm gonna have to take the speaker off, the Max off, and everybody off. Is everybody okay with that? Okay.
Were you able to hear me, Michelle?
Yeah, I heard you. I think there's just so much feedback that I think more people, like now there's four, the feedback's getting to be too much. I think that's the problem.
Does anyone here know how to record the conversation in text? I've not seen a text recording button, like a chat transcript or anything like that.
Well, actually, what I'm planning on doing is when I send this recording out, I'm gonna go ahead and like copy the chat and put it in Word and then send it through an email or and upload it on Wigio that way.
And one thing I wanted to add is, so for distributing your work in the future, I think that networking and interaction with your not with your audience, at least initially, is going to be much more important than it had been historically. I think a lot of us will have the opportunity to develop, the people that we're going to be marketing our work to, and interacting with them through various social media, email, maybe even occasional text, that sort of thing. I think we'll see more and more of that in the future, and I think that's something that we should explore. Can you hear me, Ryan? Acknowledge in text, please. What I found is that we're seeing a lot of exploration of markets through like social media. We're seeing a lot of people, for instance, are using Facebook and other forms of social media, Twitter, and that sort of thing to develop audiences. I mentioned that I had a friend that I met. She's in my Facebook group. She's marketing her work via email. She's sending out short stories monthly through email, and she's developed a list of now up towards, I think she had said 3,000 people at last count, and she's charging them $2.99 a month. And so she's actually making a great income right now every month on her short stories. And a year or two ago, I mean, she didn't even have I mean, she hadn't so much as a byline anywhere. And she started, her bylines basically just started, her recognition just started through self-published projects that she had on Amazon and other, and other similar sites. So we're going to have the opportunity as creative people to be able to, you know, uh, to market on cell phones, all other forms of the personal data media. We'll be able to market, obviously over the internet, and there'll probably be interactive places, that there's going to be a lot more Wi-Fi out there. There's just going to be opportunities to be, to have our voices everywhere, and then we're going to, of course, we can be a lot more interactive with them now, and texting back and forth and sending emails and, corresponding through the various forms of social media. So we're going to have a lot of opportunities in the future for distributing our work that hadn't heretofore been available. We're seeing them, of course, being used now, but again, it's soon going to be just I mean, everybody will be doing it. Virtually everybody will be doing it.
Can you hear me well? Okay. Yes, similar to Dawn, I was actually kind of looking into how I have uh, a few short stories on DeviantArt and how even though I'm not being paid for it, it's like it's still putting out early work and I'm gathering a bit of a following to the point where my DeviantArt page currently has over 7,000 views. So it's like I know that some people are looking and reading my stuff, so it's kind of like it may not get me paid or give me any kind of money, but it's still getting my work out there and getting people to think about my name and how other people are also using this kind of system. So similar to Dawn, it's kind of like using technology, you can get a lot of your stuff out there a lot easier and make it more accessible to people. Yeah, mostly because it's unlikely people would have the true attention span to like go through a full novel reading online just through statistics. What do you mean, Michelle? What kind of research are you talking about? Yeah, I think that the app could make for a good idea and like as a medium to find new different authors and different styles. I think that could actually be very, very useful. Well, I think that there's freedom of expression. No, that's not right. Freedom to come up with like what you think the app could be like in the future, but it's like having a few current examples like, oh, this kind of app can do this or this kind of app can do this, and then if we put these together, then we have an even better app. Yeah, I agree with Ryan on this one because it's like people have for a long time have been all like, "Oh, look, I have an electronic reader. I can take this everywhere. I can read my books whenever I want." It's like, yeah, a lot of people are big into the whole taking the books wherever you want to go without having to worry about destroying the paper copies. Michelle, would you like to take back over the vocals?
Okay, everybody hear me okay? Okay. So from what I got from the chat, pretty much I think the angle everybody's going towards is short stories. And matter of fact, I better write that down for when I send this out. So short stories seems to be the angle. All right. Um, so basically, Don came up with a good idea, and so did Erica and Ryan. I think you got an idea of what you're looking at too through short stories angle as well. Okay. So yeah, that looks like awesome. Like I said, I think one of the main reasons I'm really typing this up and recording is the ones that don't go aren't doing one on some other angle, and it kind of throw the whole project completely out the window. So it's good that we're discussing, what angle it's going to, so it kind of looks like those Legos that he was playing with. So yeah. So pretty much, Ryan, you pretty much need any more ideas as far as Googling and researching on Besco host or whatever you call it, or Esco. I can never say that. EBSCO. My husband's correcting me. Yeah, yeah, I know it's like you had to have like a minute 30. So it's kind of like, from what I saw, I was actually a lot like Don, and I actually YouTube past projects too. And I did notice, actually, I found one that was pretty amusing. And at the end, they did the intro, which is what I'm doing, but they did the intro, and they had everybody shown, and then they said the ones that didn't participate, and they had their picture. I was kind of like throwing them under the bus, but anyway, um, I did notice that they all kind of kept the same angle and tried to do that. And I think it helps with research instead of like looking through millions of articles and not finding anything. So yeah, this is going to be a lot easier. So I think like I said, the short story angle for the future, distributing your work, is pretty much going to be our base, correct? Okay, Don, I'm going to unmute myself. Okay, I mean mute. Excuse me.
Okay, I'm sorry. It took a while for my green light to appear. I'm thinking right now that I'm sliding down the chat app, and I guess you could record that. But what I'm thinking is if we could be assigned maybe to some of this stuff individually, or maybe a couple of us to develop some of these ideas, like and then if we could interact with them on our Wigio site, like what we've developed there. Like maybe Eric could do or pardon me, maybe Ryan could do the app-based, and me and another person could do the development on other means of distributing the works, that are out there, like the social media and that sort of thing. If we could divide ourselves into like project groups, and we can provide that all. Of course, it's very important that we actually interact with the group and get that information back as quickly as possible. One of the things that happened in some of my other collaborative projects is you had people that would say that they were going to do something and then not do it, and it would leave the entire group hanging. So um, it might also be best if we all individually develop part of these ideas ourselves, so that way we have at least something for our project kind of as a backup if the other person doesn't come through. So unfortunately, I think that has to be something you prepare for. Okay, that's my green light. No, what I'm actually suggesting, Ryan, is that in the ideational phase, that we come up with some of these ideas. You're absolutely right. In the individual, we all have to make our individual podcasts, and then Michelle has basically the editing job and putting it all together for a group presentation. But we all, each have our own individual projects for the assignment. I'm just suggesting that maybe if we had a kind of like a fact-finding session, we could all include some of the same ideas. We don't necessarily need to do that, but if we're not supposed to do that, then it kind of makes what is the point of our meeting if you think about it.
Okay. Okay. Whoa, our chat's going crazy. Let me see what what we have here. Okay. Erica's saying how short, excuse me, sharing stories and not getting paid for it can, excuse me, my throat, can get a following for a writer. And Don wrote, can we come up to some agreement and timeline for our contributions on Wigio? Okay. Okay. Hold on one second, Ryan. Okay. I'll see where I can find it here. Okay. Ryan wrote, I thought that that we could take apart, as in Don does social media, Erica does something on the website she found, and I would concentrate on the app. We have different ways to distribute, but it's the same theme and deals with short stories. Okay. Well, that's pretty much what I was thinking as well, Ryan. And how's everybody else with that? I mean, are we cool with that? Okay. So then Don said the potential problem with only one person covering a part is that the person may not follow through. Yeah, I agree. I think it's really a part of as long as you're like, I know I'm just putting it all together, but as long as y'all kind of keep the same angle. Oh, my phone's ringing. I apologize. Um, as long as we keep the same angle, I think we pretty much, if they go left field somewhere. I mean, I'm sending this to them, this whole conversation and the chat into Microsoft, and hopefully they read what we're doing and stay on that pattern. But if they don't, then obviously the teacher knows, hey, they didn't really put an effort or what have you. Then that's pretty much on them. But I think it's real important that we don't double up as well. So that's why I want to get out there who's doing what, so someone doesn't say, hey, oh, I'll do apps when Ryan's doing apps. So does everybody understand what I'm saying? Okay. All right. So, and that's pretty much what I was saying, Erica. It's pretty much, I mean, I'm going to be the ones that couldn't attend the meeting. I'm going to be sending them the information of what we came up with, so they don't kind of follow through with what someone else is doing. And basically we did our part as part, that we can do here. So um but as long as we keep the same pattern, if someone don't keep the pattern and I kind of throw something else, that's pretty much on them. So yeah, makes sense. Okay, so Don wrote, I'm simply mention app based in a short sentence like virtually everything else I'll cover. Okay. Okay, well, so Don is going to do a summary almost. um I guess it's, like I said, everybody's getting great on what they want to do, as long as it keeps the same pattern. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea too. And Erica, how do you feel about it? Yeah, I agree. I think putting it at the end would be awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, Don, that's a great idea. Yeah, that would be a really good at the end. And matter of fact, I'm gonna note that when I edit it, that yours probably would be the best one for the end. I agree on that. I think as long as we stay with the short stories, obviously, it kind of would make sense once the finished product came together. Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna put number 5. Don is doing a summary of the whole podcast. Okay. Yeah, that's absolutely a great idea. I think so too, Ryan. I think that'd be awesome. And it would really wrap it up good. From my understanding, I'm doing. I actually. Does everybody like to see what I have so far? I still got to do the narration, which is through a GarageBand, but at least you can see what I'm coming up with. Okay, let me. Because this is what I'm coming up with. I actually got Westar for the music. Oops, wrong one. 1 second. And my husband cleaned up my desktop, so I had a hard time trying to find things. 1 second. My iMovie decides to open. Oh, there we are. Okay. We're gonna go from the beginning. Whoop. Sorry about that, everybody. And this is what I got so far. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it on. This no, that's not mine. Here. What? Stop that. Okay. And play would be nice. Okay, so that's pretty much what I came up with. It's but like I said, I just still do the narration for it. So, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, that's really up to everybody how we want to. Do we want to keep what I have, or I mean, if you want to put your own music in your own segments, that's another thing we can go over. Or if you just want to do narration, I mean, what do y'all think? Okay. Well, actually, I found that on Westar. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, what you want to do. I mean, I went into broadcasting on Western. And that's how I found it. Yeah, so we really got to come. America made a good point. It'd be weird if some were narrated and others weren't. Yeah. Well, I do know it's got to be narration through your whole segment. So I mean, it's up to you if you want to put music with it or just narration. Yeah, right. Okay, narration for the. Well, I think when you do, Don, I think when you do your segment, you actually have to do a little spiel as far as um, like you have a lot of images and so forth. Oh, I'm not sure. I forgot how much he's supposed to. Because I really didn't pay attention to that part because I wasn't a collaborating one. But I'm pretty much think that you have to narrate, sort of like on Microsoft Word, put your own like little essay down and read your essay. That's what I've noticed from other podcasts that did this class, that they did like a like an essay form and just read the essay along with their images and their videos. So okay, I don't remember. Are according to what you guys have to do, is that a mandatory thing or I'm not sure because I like I said I really didn't pay attention to that part.
Only partial.
Yeah, I only got a little bit of it.
No, only partial narration. You can watch it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool too. Okay. Okay, as long as it's not in the as far as the rubric, I guess go by the rubric and it's really maybe just they all just discussed on having narration. Maybe that's why they had it. Hmm. Okay. Well, so Erica wrote, I just think we should decide now on narration. I agree, Erica. That's exactly what I was about to ask. So I'm actually going to type it up on this word. Is do we agree or disagree on narration? Okay. I mean, I'm gonna admit, I'm. That's one of the reasons my whole intro isn't done yet. I'm still trying to figure out narration, and well, with me it's a little different because I actually have to do on point. So it isn't like throwing naming someone's name on somebody else's name picture. So mine's a little more technical than that, but so it's a little harder on GarageBand, and I've learned that the hard way. So, but I mean,
Do hit record like
and Ryan wrote, so maybe the first segment and the last segment have narration, and the rest don't. Okay, okay, Ryan. Okay, maybe look at the rubric. Maybe that's really what you gotta go by anyway. Yeah, that's what I thought too, but I wasn't sure. So Ryan wrote, it specifically states that the student will use narration in at least two additional forms of media. Yeah, so I think there's no way around that one. So you're gonna have to use it on GarageBand, like I'm trying to figure out.
I remember that too from the go-to meeting.
Yeah, I think Ryan's got a good idea. Maybe have a little video that speaks, and but I know there does has to be narration in it, and maybe like write an essay and just read it. One good thing about that is, unlike me, where I have to be on point with my intros, yours can you can just have like a variety going on as long as you read like your essay form. Okay, so we agree. Well, actually, we have to have a narration, so we need narration. Well, we need to narrate through entire podcast. Okay,
But for each one, your teacher said not
but
to do more than 30 seconds.
okay. And Don wrote, and we all have to keep in mind that if we accidentally agree to something that was and theming. Whoa. Okay. One second. Where'd it go? And to the assignment rubrics here, we have to change it anyway. So I'm thinking, and Ryan wrote something introducing my topic with short narration, as in everyone has a self. That's an idea. That's a good idea, Ryan. Additional media, yeah. You can do videos, because yeah, absolutely, that would be good. Like I said, it's gonna be a lot easier for you guys because basically you can have a lot going on, and as long as you like read it in an essay form, when you do it on GarageBand, it really ain't gonna matter unless you really want to pinpoint or make one of your images stand out and talk about that image. That's gonna be a different story, but yeah, yeah, it's the thing. If you gotta go by the rubric, unfortunately. So should I say that you basically are going to be doing narration through maybe half your podcast? Should I write that? So I should edit
For about a
this.
minute's worth.
Part of the podcast? Is that what we're discussing here? Okay, so we need to narrate through part of the podcast. Okay.
No longer than a minute. So,
And then how long is I think it's like a minute 30 that you have to have your segments as?
a minute 30 to 2.
Mhm. Okay. So Don said, I'm doing a summary of means of distributing work in the future, not for a podcast per se. Okay. Max is 2 minutes, minutes. Okay. So maybe, so would we say that maybe just do at least 1 minute of narration,
No more.
but no more than that? And Ryan wrote, I don't think the narration has to be a specific amount of time. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, you're getting graded on your own segment. So, I mean, as long as the pattern's the same, yeah, I think that'd be good. Okay. All right. That's basically what we're going to be doing. All right. So that's discussed. Now, I think one thing we had to go by earlier that we talked about and it kind of dwindled is music. Have we all come to an agreement on the music? Okay, and Ryan wrote, as long as we have each use some narration and the same ideas put on it as our summary, then I think we should speak cohesive. Okay, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, actually, the funny part, Erica, that's actually like one of my favorites. I don't know. I figured out GarageBand. Me and my husband actually were monkeying with it, and actually, I had fun with that. And I was like, why shouldn't I have gone through music? But I don't know. Anyway, Don, I want to be a screenwriter, but I still wanted. I don't know. I kind of want to do the music angle too. Don wrote, explanatory narration might be more or less depending on the visual. Okay, and does someone like to talk? Because I hear a microphone. Don? Okay, let me mute myself.
Yes, I do. I'm sorry. Ryan, do you have the rubric pulled up right now? Okay. I wasn't actually under the impression that you put the video together one with all the others. That's exactly what happens. I thought it was that she just had a video where it was an introduction, and then the introduction was actually done separate from all the other videos. These are actually put together into, let's say, one like 12-minute video or something.
I wanted to. I actually, when we had go-to meeting the other day, I actually screenshotted some of the things that are requirements. Did anybody keep that at all from the go-to meeting?
You have your part.
Because I have my part, but I didn't. I should have, but I didn't save what yours is for the go-to meeting. I don't know if y'all can maybe watch the recording. Okay. Okay, well, it's going on 9 o'clock now, so I guess, sure, that went quick. Okay, Donro, I'm getting into my other computer now to pull up the
It's 9 o'clock.
Okay. I was on the computer for the mic. So the first part, which is milestone 2, Ryan wrote, is create our video segment completely on our own. If we do not, then we cannot get a grade. Yeah. Okay. So that's pretty much, yeah, that's basically it.
You want me to pull up your screenshot so they can see it real quick?
Yep, that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing next week. Before we follow through, I just want to do a summary of our meeting. Um, and Ryan wrote, video cannot be longer than 2 minutes, and content has to be on topic, integrate images, PowerPoint, etc. And Erica, I just think Michelle should do music for cohesion. Okay. So that's another thing I was going to ask you, Erica. Well, you're just like taking words out of my mouth. It's a good thing. I was going to ask, have we come up with the music theme on your segments? And I'm pretty much thinking that we're just going to leave. I'm going to have my music, and then you're just going to do your own thing. Is that what's going to happen in your segments?
And then go back to yours.
Okay. Ryan likes mine. Okay. Actually, I have to see. I have to go on my iTunes and see. So, and then okay. So you just want to do the narration, and I'll do the music. So there'll be. So we agree that the segment should just have narration only, and maybe the videos or what have you. So I can type that up there. So no music, just narration. Okay. Oops. Through podcast. All right. Sounds good. Okay, so we got agreement on that. So okay, so John wrote, if the music volume is kept relatively moderate, you don't have to worry about scrolling. Yeah, I basically did intro music because basically, when you watch the news, you're going to have intro music. I mean, it's on CNN, it's everywhere. So that's pretty much why I put it in mine. But yeah, I think that if you kind of keep with y'all keeping the same pattern, as far as one has music and one don't. I think the flow would go better if we all kind of agreed on how to do that. Okay, so Ryan wanted me to put Ryan is focusing on short. Is it basically short story apps? Is that what you're doing, Ryan? Okay, focus on short story future apps.
Sort of like
And
Kindle.
Don, I think I put you doing a summary of the whole project. And matter of fact, I'll put it, and it will be shown on the end. Okay, whoops, sorry about that. Okay. All right, so did we cover every aspect that we needed to cover for this? You think? Is there anything anybody want to bring up maybe that we perhaps missed? Okay. Yes, I agree with Don. Wigio is a big, yeah. I apologize, everybody. Wigio's chat hates me, and I actually emailed the teacher and told him I'm having. And actually, a funny thing, I couldn't even log into Wigio yesterday, so it was already hating me already. So it was being stupid. So um, yes, it was good. Ford was a good turnout. I thought I was so early in the morning. I was really concerned how many people would be coming. So. I know, Ryan, right? That's why I was like, I hate to like keep doing these. That's why I always like felt so bad with the Wigio chat because I didn't even know if you were even getting the emails, and I was like, I'm just gonna do a go-to meeting. So okay, uh, okay, right, Don. I'll just leave that there then. Okay, so we did the narration. We agreed that only half the podcast should be um, narration. Okay, we had agreement on that. We have an agreement that short stories is going to be the angle. Don found we're going to have Don basically doing a summary, and we're going to put him at the end of the podcast, which I'm going to remember to do that. I'm going to note that. So when I do the assembly next week. Wow. Yeah, Don, that's a lot. I know. I know it. It's crazy. Yeah. Do y'all have art history next month? Because I got good news for you. Do y'all have art history? Okay. I'm taking two classes a month. So this is not my only class. I'm taking, and I'm actually almost done with art history. Next week's my last week for that too. And I got to get some good news. Well, I got some bad news and a good news. There's a lot of reading. You have about 20 chapters. But the good part is the quizzes are pretty much the majority of your grade. You go back in there and you're okay. Don says I did art history. Well, I know, right? Yeah, Don, I know. But the quizzes, you basically it's just in your reading. It's self-explanatory, and your discussions are about 14% of your grade. And it's an easy month. I mean, our history is going to be an easy month for y'all. So, and you do learn a lot. And believe me, I've learned a lot this past month. And you have to make your own little museum paper, and you got to be a curator on Google Art. To Are there papers and projects? Um, yes, you do have a museum paper you have to do with. You find three images in Metropolitan Museum, and you basically got to know your patterns and your movement, which you will learn in your class, and textures and all that. Yeah, and you learn about a lot about religions, and it's really interesting class. I mean, and it's easy, and there's no you basically don't have um, you know a lot going on. I mean, this month where you're just kind of running around with your head cut off. Yeah, there's a lot of discussions. Every week is your major grade is your discussions. But all right, I'm gonna take the recording off. Okay, is that cool with everybody? I think we pretty much got everything in point as far as what we need to cover for everybody. All right, no problem. I'm gonna stop the recording. Maybe